on item 4B, returning from executive session and take possible action following the executive session for item 4A as necessary. Any discussions regarding our discussion in closed session? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
I motion that FPDC allocate funds not to exceed $200,000 for a project as discussed in executive session to continue with infrastructure and improvements as allowable by the Texas Local Government Code, and to direct the FPDC Executive Director to partner with the City Manager, Henrietta Turner, to discuss details of the performance agreement.
Second. Motion by Mr. Brewer, second by Mr. Hydra. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. All right. Thank you. Number 5, Directors Forum. Big on the floor.
Thank you so much. I'll make this kind of short, sweet. The Wilson Community Health Center update. So Monty Small, they have gotten all their funding and are looking at breaking ground probably in July, around that time. So just have that on your radar. They will be coming to do. We'll be doing like an opening ceremony, maybe with some shovels, some art ads. So that'll be the facility that's going to be located right next to Paloma Place on Paloma Drive, across from kind of county corner to the city cemetery. It'll be a facility where they're going to move from Tractor Supply with its standalone building right there next to it. So they had to go through some time with COVID. As the previous board, the new board members, the previous board, we donated that land, I believe, for $1. In exchange for them to start this project, and the city, came on board with waiving some fees and stuff as they did it. So I'm really excited to finally get that project going, and so we get some dirt finally being moved here soon. So that's where we're at on that project, and then just be looking forward to some days to come in. So when we have that check from USDA and the other grant they got from the Baptist Care Foundation, I want to say they got upwards of close to like $600,000+ towards the project, and that's going to create another pediatric doctor as well, and maybe some dentistry in there, because at the current place they have the dentist office, so maybe some pediatric dentists, pediatric doctors. They have some local guys. I'm excited. Here at their local office, they hired Jeremy Means. He's a graduate of Florida, I think class of '96. He became a nurse practitioner, and they hired him on staff. So it's good that they have some of the local people back as well. So. That's the update on the Wilson Community Health Center. I want y'all to take a look in here as well when you got time, and you can read it. At the last City Council meeting on June 4th, we had our first reading to approve the resolution 2018 FPDC to approve the distribution of funds for the Floresville business to assist with the retention and training of employees during the COVID-19 pandemic. Natural disaster. So that first reading was read and approved. We have our second reading scheduled for this Thursday. And then as well, we had our first reading for the resolution 2020-19. It's a resolution to ratify the purchase of the 10.4 acres from the FISD. We have the second meeting coming up this Thursday. Same schedule. We'll have the public hearing on the 18th. And from there, what's different about that project is we're going to wait 60 days after the public hearing before we purchase that property. I've already updated Mr. Schroller, the assistant superintendent. And then at our meeting in July, we'll get that resolution approved, and then we'll have it signed by the EDC. And so we have that recorded. So that's where we are with those resolutions. And I already talked about the public hearing. That's scheduled for the 18th. We'll be sending out an invite here in the next few days. And that'll be open at 5 o'clock for if the board wants to be here for the reading of that. So that'll be my first one. I want to thank Ms. Turner for kind of walking me through this and helping with that, because she has them at all different times, like 7 in the morning. No, I'm just playing. She had one time like at 10. So, but I'm excited for that, to get past that. So we also talked about the city council approved the resolution earlier in this meeting. Again, we want to thank the city of Floresville for the resolution 2020-17 Economic Development Week, which will be May 22nd through the 29th. And I'm really excited because that'll come when we can start issuing checks to help our small businesses and help during our economic recovery through the COVID pandemic. So real excited about that. So the city council also approved the sidewalk light and infrastructure. And so I want to give an update on that. They are done pouring. Half of the courthouse, they have a few little minor ends to do and ramps. We had a walkthrough this morning with Phelps, and we had to put one more box in. Phelps will be there tomorrow pulling in their copper wire and the 3-inch pipe underground to put that infrastructure, begin phase 1 of bringing the infrastructure underground. They are scheduled tomorrow at noon with, what's the name of that, the grant, the
TDA?
TDA,
Inspectors has to come through.
and that TDA said Texas,
Department of Agriculture Action.
yeah, so they're the ones that, they have their own inspector that comes down and inspects the sidewalks. He'll be here tomorrow at noon with our city, inspector that we, entered as place file to oversee that, so they'll be walking that project. I'll be there with them at noon tomorrow, making sure everything's okay, and they plan on having a pour, which they'll pour half of the sidewalk up until a certain spot, and then they'll finish the next half. So Wednesday, they look at doing all that.
Ben, I don't think the board knows about that we're replacing all those poles and
Yeah,
lights.
so that, exactly, so, in July, I'll be having, some things so we can look at as far as the next phase. So with everything going underground, if you're not familiar with downtown, as you look or you drive home and look, there's like 4 or 5 wires up down there in downtown, the poles. It's secondary electricity, so all it powers is the lights on top of the building that we put up for Christmas. The 5 or 6 boxes they have right there along 4th Street. I think that's 4th, right? No, 3rd Street. Along 3rd Street for the Peanut Festival, and then the street lights. There's probably like about 6 street lights along this project. No, 4 street lights.
Big wooden poles.
The big wooden poles that are there, that's all that's up there for. So once this project's done, everything will be underground. So we'll have pedestals in the ground for the Peanut Festival to plug into during their festival, or anybody else that has a festival, like the Lions Club has the car show. And then we'll have the transition boxes on the side of some of the buildings to power the lights. And then what I want to come back to the board on to look at some other future projects, and along with working with Ms. Turner, hopefully, is some aesthetic light poles that we need to install. So Phelps has agreed to wire them for us and help us with that. Us is just purchasing the poles, and they'll help us install them. So I think that's one thing that it's kind of been really a blessing in disguise the last week, is the partnership moving forward that we're having with us in the city, us and Phelps. And so I'm really excited about these partnerships where the community is actually coming together to work on these projects. So
Yes, and Phelps has committed to work with us in the sidewalk project for all 9 phases. I try to scare them off and say, this thing is 9 phases. You know, you gotta be in here for the long haul. And they said that they are. And so I'm really excited that they're going to partner with us, so much so that they're gonna help me design. So next time we'll have it designed in there, it won't be an afterthought. Designed and put it in there. And part of the grant can go for that. It can go, I think, 25% of it, they can do streets or lights or banners, and so this would count. They're willing to say that they're gonna partner with us and provide some of that conduit to make sure that it's a smoother transition. Because clearly, this construction project is a lesson learned, as the dumpsters in the parking lots, a lesson learned.
yeah,
And
we
so
didn't realize when we did the parking lot
we are-
back, the dumpsters was
And so, it's time for everything. So we're really excited going forward, and I know, David, you've been talking about between the dumpsters in the front, and it is a definite community effort, and it does have its learning curve in construction. And so I am excited about this project, and looking forward to do a ribbon cutting ceremony at the end, since we did one when we got the grant. We're looking for a ribbon cutting ceremony to walk across that, and met with some of the store owners today to talk about it. So we're looking forward to that. It's a great project.
Yeah, looking forward to continue those partnerships as we move forward. And, as we have a great board here, I think that the Phelps board is good as well. We have a good chairman over there too, Maurice.
I heard that.
chairman of the adult board.
Minute?
So, that's where we are on the lighting project. Thank you for what y'all done and moving forward on that. I think Henrietta already talked about earlier, I was like, man, everything we're talking about, I'm on my forum, she already talked about our audit. Our audit, we should have the numbers by the end of the week. And,
We get to go.
yeah, and so I'm really looking for that. Charlotte, I want to thank her too, as well for all the hard work she's put in, because as you know, we came into this mid-year from some stuff they've done in the past, and she's having to re-type up minutes that were never typed up or lost.
2018.
Yeah, 2018, but we found the audio, so she's having to make some things, so I really thank Charlotte for what she's done to help us get to where we need to get with this audit, so we can have a good, clean audit for the EDC. And then lastly, we have the Riverbend Development Corporation. So if y'all weren't aware, we had that meeting the other day, and I think we have a majority of the board here. So,
It's supposed to be.
another good chairman of that is moving forward. But I don't think they call him chairperson, they call him
He's the president.
the president. So, yeah, so, and then I've been, just to update you, I've been voted as the treasurer to oversee that, to see where we are with those current funds, and whether good or bad news comes out of that, I'm ready to take on that challenge. And really want to note that I'm the new treasurer, not the old treasurer from that. So I duly want to note that as those things do come out. So, did you get that?
Yes.
So, other than that, that's where we're at, and I think that's good because it shows, and if you haven't been out to Riverbend, man, go all the way to the end, to the far right. They've already started forming up the foundations. I think we got like 2 houses or.
They, the project is 107, that links, the new links that the PZ that you all approved, 107, that new section is 107 lots. They've already taken down 8 permits and started, and have just submitted us today 10 more.
Yeah, so that's for
According
18
to
new homes.
what they're
out there.
telling me, the developer's saying that they've already sold the first 50. And they haven't even put up a model yet.
Yeah, the lady the other day, she said, they, in their wildest dreams, they would never imagine, talking aloud, how, their phone is ringing just for housing in this area. And so I think they're already talking about the next phase of the links, or whatever they're gonna call the new village out there.
Yes, so they put, I keep saying, I never get that Horton, I get Horton, right, I never get the.
DR.
DR, because the DR Horton had in the agreement that they had the next phase, first right of refusal for the next 2 phases of Riverbend. And in talking to Richard, and I know you all have known Richard, he comes all the time to council, that they've already, when he gets back from his holiday, he takes a vacation for 30 days, he's from Switzerland, that explains it. That when he gets back from holiday, they're gonna start negotiating for the next phase.
And a lot of those developments got canceled, and we survived that and are ready to develop with York in the next phase of that. So.
Yes, so we're really excited about moving forward on that one and give us the house, and they are definitely affordable housing. They're under $225,000 on a golf course is almost unheard of. And so they're ready to be able to do that. It'll be a really good thing, and so I can't wait to see what the numbers are gonna look like that for the rooftops, because it'll definitely help us what we need to do. And I know, Ray, you talked about that for a long time. We need the rooftops, and they don't count some of the local homes. So this will be a definite thing, which gears it off. I mean, how we got that thing across the street, what was it before? Now, what is it now, the one on the corner, the gas station?
Oh, it was,
Circle K?
Circle K. It's
Oh,
Circle K now.
the Ford Mobile Park.
Before, what was it for? Circle K, so everybody knows. So how we got that was, someone said, how did you get it? Well, how we got that is that HEB Express put in $1 million worth of refrigeration and took out a permit for $1 million refrigeration. Well, everybody started saying, what's going on, because they watch each other, why? So then they're like, oh, we want to go across the street. And how I got the council to agree to a 20% administrative fee is that the gentleman from HEB Express came with his big old fat black checkbook saying, how much do I owe you for permits? And I told him how much. He goes, that's all? I'm like, man. He close that book and go home. So I'm like, you need to be able to do that, because they're ready to come and write the checks for those development fees. So we have to be sophisticated, and so thank you for what you did in executive session, because it's going to help us come up with a pattern so we can be sophisticated, so when people come, we can be sophisticated and say, this is what we've got going on.
So
Yeah,
that's
but you gotta remember, you can milk a cow every day, you can only kill her once.
Okay, as spoken as a true rancher, y'all forget I'm a city girl, I don't know nothing about milking cows or nothing like that. I don't know nothing.
That covers all of our agenda items. Any comments or questions before we close out? If not, meeting's adjourned at 7:41.
Thank you, everybody.